So yesterday we looked into the triple characteristics of a beginning, middle, and the end of an object. This beginning, middle, and end of the object, although theoretically for all mental and physical objects, they have these attributes, they have these characteristics. But when we are doing the practice, it does not show us all at the same time, all at the same goal. That means you can see the three characteristics at one go, the middle, beginning, middle, and end. Only when you are ready for it, it will show you partially. You go deeper, it shows you another part. You go another part again, you go deeper, it may show you more. And you go deeper, it may show you the beginning or the ending. So they change. So this triple characteristic does not come at one go. Now, these triple characteristics of beginning, middle, and end, they are not anicca, dukkha, or anatta yet now. Not in the sense of technical understanding or technical, the actual term for anicca, dukkha, anatta haven't arrived yet. But a lot of yogis think that this is anicca, dukkha, anatta somewhere there, because of its beginning, middle, end. Now, sometimes, for example, you notice the pain. You notice the pain getting stronger, getting less, and then after that, this pain, it moves to that one, then this pain moving here, moving there, then this pain kind of subsides, then another pain arises. Then you think that you're seeing anicca. Not yet. You're on the way, but not yet. Alright? Not that you don't have, it's on the way. But don't go, oh, I see all the anicca. Not yet. And then so too like dukkha, You sit here pain, Bhante, here pain, morning pain, afternoon pain, night pain. Next day pain again, here pain, moving pain, this pain running here and there. Oh, I see all the anicca, I see all the dukkha already, Bhante. Not yet. You only see part of the dukkha only. So when we come into this beginning, middle, and end, they are not technically speaking of anicca, dukkha, anatta, but they are the beginning process of it. You're going to go into it. You're on the right track already. You're on the right track, but not yet. Sometimes yogi mistakenly talk about it. Oh, I see this changing and all that. Not to say they are completely wrong, but they are not completely right either. Now, as I said, as a yogi, this beginning, middle, and end, you cannot push your way to see what you want to see. It will show you when you are ready for it. In other words, when the mindfulness, your clarity of mind has come to a sufficient level, then it will begin to show it to you, unfold it to you. In next time, if you happen to have a friend, let's say, they come to you, want to learn about vipassana meditation. So tell me how to meditate. You don't tell them, hey, you must see the beginning, middle, and end. They will not be ready yet. Some of this beginning, middle, and end thing, in the past, even in the present also, I'm sure will be in the future too. That sometimes I hear instructors or teachers, they, for the beginners yogi, they force the yogi to see. You must see exactly how the rising beginning, see it how middle and how exactly it ends. And you follow everything. I follow everything from beginning, middle, and end. Right in the first day itself. You see, in the first day, you don't hear me talking about beginning, middle, and ending. Because you're not ready for it. Yeah? You're not ready for it, especially if you are beginner. My instruction does not start in this way because I know that the yogis will not be ready for it. Now, if yogis were to try to look for beginning, middle, and end right in the beginning of their retreat, they're going to force their mind, they're going to overforce their mind, and yet they could not see it. Then after that, they get a lot of frustration. They got a lot of frustration, a lot of pressure, a lot of tension arises. We do not want you to go into that way because it will kill your confidence in the meditation. Some people have seen this method of meditation, a lot of them drop out because one of it is difficult to notice this characteristic. Study is easy, 4 element is easy. You can study 4 element. When you come to do and see, exactly follow the elements and see, define the elements by observation. Not easy. You cannot define it clearly. You cannot observe it clearly. So, as a yogi, you got to see as they really are, not as what you want it to be. In other words, even for an advanced yogi, they come into a meditation. When they begin let's say they begin the retreat too, or they begin their day of meditation, they have to go into the individual characteristic first. They got to search for that characteristic. Then only the changes or the triple characteristic will start to come in, become clearer to them. So you have to go by noticing the individual characteristics, and then eventually the triple characteristics become evident to you. So you keep noting, you keep observing whatever that is happening to you right now. Yeah? As long as you're noticing sensation of the body, characteristics of the body, hardness, softness, warmness, coldness, you notice the thinking, planning, memories, then you're on the right track. Then you will on the right track. Then it will slowly shows you its different patterns, its different way of expressing the itself. It will come as you keep on noticing. So just be patient. Put your effort into it again and again, retreat after retreat, until enlightenment. And after enlightenment, what do? Shake leg. And do some more. It's not enough. You think after enlightenment is a holiday? No, you still keep meditating. Yeah. Anyway, don't worry about that yet. No. This one is more, right now is more important. Whatever you are doing right now. So when we notice these three character, this beginning, middle, and ending. Now here is where it's begin to see sometimes like formation of the objects the changes can be quite fast. They can have many objects like coming in together, and the objects that come in together, not necessarily they are nice and pleasant for you. Take for example, sometimes when you sit down, you notice the rising and falling clearly, or rising, falling, and then sometimes at the same time, you begin to notice like other sensations starts to develop. This rising and falling I could see, but some kind of pressure or itchiness also I can notice. Both are equally prominent. And sometimes there's another sensation, perhaps like a pain that developing in the leg area, or the numbness developing in the leg area. Then as if like, how come I could notice the rising and falling? Also the pain, also that sensation, that itchiness perhaps. How come that all the three are equally clear? What should I do right now? No? So this time when it shows you to you in this way, if you are presented in this way, then you take up all the three together. You take all the three together. The book says the mind can only take one object at one time. That's the book say lah. You must see for yourself what is going on. Don't follow the book too much. You are not wrong. The book also is not wrong also. The book is correct. But you are not at the level of the book yet. But we think that, oh, I must see only one thing at one time. No. It shows you whatever it shows you. Let's say three of them are equally prominent. Then you take them. You don't reject them. Yeah. Sometimes one of it become clearer. If one of it become clearer, then you notice that particular one. Then the other two, you put it at the background. Then you're okay. Yeah. So however it comes in, whichever it comes in whatever way the objects come to show it to you, you see it as they are. And not what you want, what you think it should be. As I said, Vipassana is not for you to think. Vipassana is for you to observe and to see them as they are. The words as they really are, as sometimes you read in the suttas, it's just not as simple as it is. Yeah, it's really not as simple as it is. As they are only that when it comes into really your meditation, there are a lot of desire, what we really want. Even the objects also, what I want the objects to be. The craving that comes together with it. We don't want to say exactly how it is. We want to see what we think it should be, or what we reflect that the object should be. Here, as it changes, sometimes this multiple of objects, their changes become faster. Like as if like you're noticing this thing within like 2 or 3 seconds. The next object also 2 or 3 seconds. Another object 2 or 3 seconds. Then thinking also 2 or 3 seconds, already gone. Sensation come and gone. As if like when you're noting it, your mind is like running here from one object to another object to another object. You don't even know what you're noting. But you know that you are noting. You know that something is moving quite fast. So after you get up, I know I'm noting something, but I don't know whether it is hard or soft, or this is pulling or what. I know like some memory was passing through, but it was very fast. Boom, then everything goes different. But you know that you are at the optimum level of observation. You know exactly what you are knowing, but you do not know the conceptual or the whether it's rising and falling, or whether this is pain, or whether it is sensation. You don't label them anymore. They are just only sensation here and there, a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here. Then here, usually when it happens in this way, the yogi thought that, hey, I think I'm doing too superficially. How come I'm not taking up and observing it, examine it carefully, noticing? Yeah. Again here is again what the yogi think how an object supposed to be. Yeah. In the past also I was that also. I was thinking how come I'm not observing the object thoroughly, but how come my mind is running all over the place? Well, I still know that I'm still very alert. Yeah. Very, very optimally, the faculties, the states of mind are very clear at that time. But the object, we are not examining the object in one go. Because this time, you're not seeing the individual characteristics. You're seeing the beginning or something the ending or here, and things are changing. Things are changing as 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 it is. At that level, you are noticing a different characteristic, not the individual characteristic that you examine like 360 degree. No. Sometimes that we want to buy something from Amazon, there's a 360 degree uh, the photo, you press on it. Let's say you want to buy a shoe, let's say, you can twist the shoe around and twist it up and twist it there and twist it everywhere before you buy, You can see it completely. Why can't you do it for your meditation object? Yeah. That one, we got to examine it. Yes, it's good if you do that, Yeah. But now as you develop further, sometimes the mind, as I said, the mind goes into a different, looking at different characteristics. Different characteristics in the sense of its beginning, middle, and ending. And it's changing quite fast. A little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there. As if like we are so superficial. We are not at all. That's why a lot of times you do not know what you are doing, but you know that your mindfulness is still alert. So therefore, don't trust your logical thinking or your intellectual thinking. Trust your mindfulness. Let your mindfulness grow by putting your confidence into it and let it show you whatever that you want to show you. Then objects become clearer. If not, it will be impeded. Your thinking, your logical mind will be the hindrance. It's not the sleepiness is the hindrance. It's not the restless mind the hindrance. Now it's your logical thinking, your sutta study, your abhidhamma, whatever. You bring the whole thing into it and it blocks the whole observation. And therefore, everything just slow down. Yeah. So, again, as I said, you got to really pay attention to what is going on without putting all these things. As long as the mindfulness is noting what is going on, you're on the right track. Yeah. Now, while you're looking at these things, and sometimes even like when it changes, getting more, getting less, it changes from one object to another quite fast, sometimes to the mind, to the body, and so on. Then you see it as like a group like that. Like everything is changing, whether it's a mind or sensation of the hardness is changing. It comes for a short while, it's already gone. Here it comes for a short while, it's already gone. So it's good that you notice it in that way. Sometimes similar objects that you are noting, but every time you're noting, it's like very tense up, your whole body and your mind and your noting is all like tense up. But you're still very alert. Previously you noticed that maybe your sensation of your, say, rising, falling, it's quite easy, isn't it? But now you notice the rising, falling, it can be, how come? Something wrong with the rising, falling, is it? No, it's not something wrong. It's just a different aspect of presentation of the rising and falling. Yeah? Or sometimes the sensation, normally you notice that it's not so painful, but this time it can be very excruciatingly painful. But it comes, and sometimes this pain, it comes, then after that it subsides. Completely you see it subside. But short while, the next pain comes, and very quickly it reaches peak. Very painful, but quickly very subside. Then it change to another place. Then it change to another place. The same thing. It goes again. Even the thoughts that arises, pressure that arises, wow, you feel it very difficult. And yet, you're on the right path, on the right path, on the right noting. it's just difficult. Sometimes when you notice this, the same objects that what is going on, then you have no control over it at all. It will just run according to its liking. It runs according to its liking, and it just will change and change and change to your liking, and you cannot control it at all. As if like at that time there's no I, there's nobody controlling, there's no God, there's no soul, no this, no that, nothing. It's just mind and bodily processes only. So in that way, when you're noticing all these things as if like they are changing quite fast, as if like you are seeing the dukkha aspect, and also you're seeing a lot of non-self, non-I. This one, it's they call it the knowledge of comprehension. What you comprehend anicca, the beginning of anicca, the beginning of dukkha, and also the beginning of anatta, stronger anatta coming in. Yeah? But it's very haphazard. Everything is very haphazard. You do not know what you're going. Although what I'm talking is, we already put you in groups, one group, one group, one group like that. But actually, when you're doing it, everything is that. Everything all just mix up. Everything mix up. You don't even know what you're noting, but you're passing through. It's just like you go into the forest. You do not know, but you're on the right path, and then you just pass through. You don't know what tree you're looking at. You do not know what's the name of the river. You don't know where you are. You don't know what the landmark, but you know that. You just carry on. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. So it's very haphazard. While you're inside there, while you're doing it, it's better for us to keep noting and don't bring in all the understanding of knowledge and so on. Yeah? All these are conceptual. I let you know right now is because that sometimes when you read in the books, especially in the development of this vipassana, they tell you that there are 16 insight knowledge. Yeah, they tell you all the 16 insight knowledge. Then a lot of us think that when you come to vipassana, everything is all going to form, or first knowledge is going to be like that already. Second knowledge is going to be like that already, Sure, if you go in there, you go and meditate, you do not know where you are. You don't know whether you're progressing or digressing or what. How come the more that I meditate, the more pain it is? Bhante, am I doing right or not? This is one of the biggest thing, And more and more things is going to come in that it's going to make your whole meditation confusing. You cannot how come the book says like that? How come I notice like that? Where am I actually? Yeah. So I understand some of these things that yogis go through, especially they read a lot. Yeah? They read a lot, and then they like to base their meditation with a book. They notice a little bit which knowledge already I am near Nibbana already. You think this is Google Map or Waze? You think this is GPS for you, is it? But it's good for us to know. At least we have an understanding that the development of this vipassana is always based on noting the objects and the objects changing, and there's dukkha, there's difficulty, there's non-self, there's multiple ways of noticing this mind and body processes. Yeah? Not what you imagine, not what you reflect it to be. Yeah? Because a lot of times, when you go into the deeper aspect of this vipassana retreat, as the mind gets stronger, clearer, your objects, as I said, also notice it very clearly, right? You can notice it clearly. Wonderful. But your imagination and your creation also become as clear as your object. That means it's even clearer than before. Yeah? Any of your memory that comes up is much more clearer than before because of that quality of mindfulness and concentration. The calmness that you have is also be expanded, so strong. The joy that you feel, the joy that you feel is it's kind of a very pure type of joy. But then there's another one is even more finer than the joy, which is the pleasant feelings. And these pleasant feelings, it becomes a very pure pleasant feelings. And that pleasant feelings becomes a prominent object at certain point of time for some yogis. A very prominent object. And that pleasant object, when it comes, it's a very come from a very pure mental state. That means that time there's no hindrances. Your mind is fully alert, and yet that truly powerful, deep sense of tranquilness, peacefulness, or very pleasantness of the mind comes in because of the clarity of the mind. Now, here is where yogis, if they are not careful, if they are not taught, if they are not guided, normally they will fall into that trap. That trap, no, that state of mind, they are not unwholesome. But it's because of you crave for it, they become unwholesome. Now, this pleasantness, this strong type of pleasantness, strong type of sometimes lights also, one of it. Very strong lights, very strong brightness of the mind, it comes up. Or even some people can see images of the monk, images of Buddha. They can see exactly so clearly that they have never seen it before. So powerful, as if like sometimes the faces of the Buddha come right in front of them. That they never felt this way, this thing before. Yeah? So normally if they are not taught, they are not guided, then normally they will be very attached to this type of imagination, these states of mind, this creation of the mind, because it's very pleasant and it's very delightful. And that time, of course, when you notice this thing, you don't want your pain anymore, isn't it? You want to go back to your pain, huh? You want to go back to your pain. You don't want the pain. Every time you sit down, you love that thing. You love this thing. You'll be looking for it because you're already caught into it. I've seen yogis with this thing. They caught with this type of things for 20 over years. Then only they realize that they are not, they're neither here nor there. Then they know that they are did something wrong and they are still doing something wrong. At least now they know there's something wrong already. 20 years later. How old are you? You have 20 years. You don't know. The thing is that these are real examples, and these are not something I created it up. And monks and nuns also get caught into it because of this pleasantness. And some people get caught until they do not want to hear any other thing. And then when they caught into this type of things, this is where they think that this is all nibbana or nirvana already, or this is jhana, or whatever they are there. Yeah, they assume that because they already think that this is something excellent. In the past, in the meditation, I never seen all these things. And this time it all arises. That means the whole path of this vipassana, they just go out. But they interpret that this is right thing to do. Yeah? This is a wonderful thing to do. I talked about this in the last retreat, in somewhere in Austin, in the last retreat. If you want, there's a talk on this called the 10 imperfections of insight. Yeah. What are some of the things that a yogi goes through as they progress in the vipassana? There are traps, there are traps here and there. So a yogi must be wise enough not to get attached to the trap. So this thing, one way or another, will come to you. And each and every one of you may be very different. Yeah? As long as you don't attach to it, then you're well and good. They come in, even they come in, let's say it's very pleasant, it's very peaceful. So what you should do? You note it. All you need to do is just note it. Peaceful, 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 tranquil, tranquil, and see its characteristic. How it changed, what is going on. Now, if you cannot handle this object, back again to a safer object, which is your body. Yeah. If you do not know what is going on inside there, back again to the body. The body is a very safe object because it cannot think. So keep on noticing the body sensation. Then this one, let it slowly pass through and keep noticing. Then you're on the right path again. But if you want to notice, you make sure that you make an effort to note it. Calm, 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 calm. Peaceful, 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 peaceful. Buddha, 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 Buddha. Seeing, 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 seeing. Whatever it comes, however it comes, just remind yourself, don't get caught into it. Don't get caught into it. You next time you imagine there's something here as if I'm sitting beside you, with a stick there. Where's the stick? Yeah, something like that. Wake yourself up. Because these things, when we talk about this, every now and then, I met with yogis like this. They've done some retreats before. They've done some retreats, well, whatever they retreat. Then they come into this retreat. This type of retreat, this Mahasi type of retreat, this Vipassana type of retreat. Then if they have the faith, if they're not that stubborn, if they are not able, if they're able to let go slowly, then yes, they can progress. Some people are so stubborn, you tell them previous retreat, then they come the next retreat, they are doing the same thing all over again. Once in a while, we met with these people. You tell them, don't. Next retreat, come back the same thing. I thought I told you so, don't do that. Sometimes it's like the Hokkien says, you want to vomit blood. Because this is a spiritual path. This is not something that I take it lightly. Anyway. So, as long as you don't get attached to all these states of mind, or this calmness, or this imagination, and so on, then you are okay. So too, don't attach to your own progress too. Don't think that you are a better yogi than others. Just because that you came for a few retreats, your mind is alert, your mind is clear. Then you try to compare yourself to other yogis. Oh, I'm better yogi. You are just beginner yogi. Then your ego is all coming in. That too, during around this time, all your defilements, your subtle defilements are coming up, but you don't realize it. Yeah. So you want to know about this thing? Yeah, you go to a previous retreat talk. One of the, I think there are 2 talks there. The 10 imperfections of this vipassana. So we come back to the noting again. So you let go of that thing, come back and noting. So when you're able to note again, then your progress will start going. This is when you start go further. This is where your actual true anicca begins. Impermanence begins. Yeah? Before that, as I said, there are generally we say that it's anicca. Generally, we say that it's dukkha. Generally, we say that it's anatta. But now, from here onwards, is the deep aspect, is the actual aspect where truly the anicca, dukkha, anatta begins. Yeah? But it begins with anicca first. Yeah? So here, we call it the fourth insight knowledge, the knowledge of arising and passing away. The word arising and passing away is different from beginning, middle, and ending. Beginning and middle and ending, you can see that it is still calm, the pain is there, the pain goes. It may be like even few seconds or so, you know, even few seconds or so. It's still a beginning, middle, and ending. Or it may be last for a few minutes. The beginning, you see the beginning, you see the middle, you see it's very strong, and then you see how it fades away. Completely it fades away. This is still a beginning, middle, and ending. Whereas we talk about arising and passing away, the word arising and passing away, it's the moment it arises, the moment it passes away. The moment it arises, the moment it passes away. It's just like sometimes you're not like blinking, blinking. The moment it blinks, the moment it disappears. The moment it comes, it disappears. The moment it comes, it disappears. Yeah. So to all these objects of ours is always in the flux of arising and passing away. They are not still, they are not just rising, falling, but within all this rising and falling is all arising and passing away. That arising and passing away is the third characteristic of every object. Every object will have this, all vipassana objects of mind and body will have this third characteristic, which is the arising and passing away. Yeah? So, this arising and passing away, they are deep, they are deep knowledge. They are very clear knowledge. The moment that you notice it, the moment it disappears. And it's not just only one time. It arises again. It arises and passes away again and 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 again. Even you sit down, the moment you sit down, things are clear, arising and passing away, perhaps throughout your whole sitting. Thoughts come in, arising and passing away also. Sensation comes in, arising and passing away also. Everything arising and passing away, arising and passing away. You notice the stomach area also arising and passing away. There's no more like arising and falling, but you just not arising and passing away. Everything is just arising and passing away. Nothing is there. So more or less that you notice every object is just only arising and passing away. There's no individuality right now. Everything is just arising and passing away. And they go from moment to 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 moment. If you can sit, it says that if you can sit for 1 hour, let's say each arising and passing away for 1 second, so you'll be noting how many times? 3,600, no, 36,000, don't know how many seconds. 60 seconds times 60 is 3,600. Something like that, 3,600, 3,600 seconds, is it? Don't need to think. Just to give you an example, that every arising and passing away is one noting already. It's a single noting. That your noting and that object goes together. It comes, it goes together, come, go together, come, go together, come, go together, come, go together. So you will see a lot of this. Yeah. Sometimes yogis think, yogis hear about this word arising and passing away. They just see titi tata, a little bit, then after that, no more there. Oh, Bhante, I see arising, passing away. I see arising, passing away. No, not yet. They see a little bit of the pain. Let's say the itchiness. Oh, the itchiness biting here, biting there, biting here, biting there. Oh, I see arising and passing away. No, not yet. Yeah, maybe you're on the right, still on the right track, but not yet. Don't overestimate yourself. Don't overestimate. You're still on the right track, but no, it's not like that. The arising and passing away, it comes in the whole hour walking or a whole hour sitting. How does it come? You go and see it for yourself. Yeah, you go and see it for yourself. Perhaps for most people, this arising and passing away, it comes in more clearer. It comes clearer, more succinctly, more lucid, more vivid in the sitting meditation. Walking meditation, they are not so good. For most people, the walking meditation is hard for them to notice this thing. They can only notice lifting, pushing, dropping, stepping. But when it comes to sitting, titi tata, pop, 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 pop. Why? The walking also is wind element. All the four elements also. Sitting also, the four elements. Why you can see in the sitting, not in the walking? That means something wrong in their walking, or not enough in the walking. That's wrong. It's not enough in the walking. Yeah. Other words, whether it's a walking posture or sitting posture, whenever the mind is ready for it, the mind actually could see for every aspect, whether in the daily activities, whether in the walking, also whether in the sitting. Because after all, it's just only posture. There's no I and there's no you, isn't it? There's only all the elements only are interacting with each other. So nevertheless, so here you can able to see this arising and passing away. Yeah. So this arising and passing away, they come in, and the moment that you see this arise and pass away, arise and pass away, arise and pass away, again and again and again, you some sensation arises, let's say, at the back of the leg, then only you see the arising and passing away. You notice the pain also arising and passing away. The mind can take in everything. Even the lifting, pushing, dropping, for example, right now you may see the pushing is just going straight like that and drop like that. But now sometimes the arising and passing away, so many things. No, people cannot see you. Of course, here I already exaggerate the whole thing, but you can see that from inside there, there's a although when you look at it, it's just a smooth movement. But that time, you truly feel that the whole movement itself is like, so many small little movement is taking place inside there, arising and passing away. Yeah, Bhante, my walking every day the same one, Bhante. Why nothing much? Because you didn't do enough, lah. Yeah. No, this one, you don't worry about it. It will come eventually if you train yourself again and again. Eventually, yeah. This is some of the example. Doesn't mean that you're going to see it. Perhaps you'll see it in other ways, but just to give you an example. Yeah. Now, so you see this arising and passing away in many ways. So that is good. That means your mind has that capability to able to go further this time. You can able to go further. So you need time and practice only. So keep on, you have the time, and you go for the retreat, you do it again and again, the progress will keep going. But I tell you, it's not going to go any easier. The challenges is still there. The strong challenges is going to be there. It's not about the practice, but it's about the process of noting right now. Now, when you see this arising and passing away, you see anicca. You see anicca in its true manner. Yeah? You see anicca in the true manner. But the perception of anicca has multiple patterns, not just only arising and passing away like that only. Has multiple patterns. Another type of anicca, is you see that the object is disintegrating, or dissolution they call it. That You don't see the beginning of the process, but you only see the arising and passing away when the process is going to disappear. And you see the ending of it at the same time, the arising and passing away at the end. You notice the thoughts arises, but you cannot catch the beginning of the thought, but exactly you know how the thought is going to end, which with the arising and passing away, then completely is stopped. That also you see anicca in terms of destructiveness, destruction. In terms of destruction, don't think of anicca just changing. Anicca is also like destruction. That is also anicca. You see that sometimes your pain, for example, you notice the pain and the pain kind of like disappearing and it's gone. Yes, it's also a similar like that. It goes into destruction as a perception of change, as perception of anicca somehow. So something like that. Then you are also going into the right track. And yet at this time, sometimes the yogi think that how come my meditation is going down? How come the beginning and middle I don't see? How come only the ending only I see? And again the ending only we can see. You try hard to look for the beginning, it doesn't show you. It only shows you the ending. So again here the yogi get confused. How come my meditation is like that? But it's not. Meditation is doing well, it's doing fine. It's just that the nature of how the objects is being presented is that. All of us, whether you or the Buddha, or a man or a woman or a deva, they will go through the same thing. Because it's a law. It's a universal law. It's not something we created from Vipassana, It's something is already there. It's already there. All this. It's just only we need to see it only. The truth. So it's not created by the Buddha. It's not created by anybody. It's the nature of the truth. That's why the Buddha guide us in order for us to see that truth, this type of truth that's happening. Yeah. So you see the anicca part, various ways of how the anicca. Now, as you go deeper, if you practice on, carry on, then the deeper aspect of dukkha is going to come. When we talk about dukkha, the way that we look into dukkha, the Buddha gave us, when we want to look at dukkha, one of the ways to look at dukkha is to look at it from a three different level. The three levels of dukkha. The first dukkha is that is connected with your painful feelings. Okay? That one we know. Your buttock pain, your knee pain, your numbing pain, your sickness of the body, illness of the body. These are all connected with unpleasantness, unpleasant feelings. Mental, for example, you're angry, you're sad, you're jealous, you are really unpleasant, restless mind, and so on. All these things falls under the first level, which is connected with unpleasant feelings. That is most of the time we see only. You go to old age and here pain, there pain, everywhere pain. You complain here and there. You think you see all the dukkha. Not yet. But still dukkha, but you don't see everything yet. Then the Buddha says there's another level of dukkha. The dukkha that comes connected with pleasant feelings. When you're connected with pleasant feelings, you're connected with the change of the object. For example, the object is pleasant. You notice the pleasant feeling or calm feeling. But then the calm feeling does not last forever. It's going to change. So after that, when it change, how come it's not here already? You want it again. You crave for it. Dukkha. That also is a form of suffering, a form of dukkha. But then we cannot use the word, sometimes we use the word suffering. It's not so right. Because when it's connected to the change, you don't feel the suffering, but it's more like unsatisfactory right now. Whereas then you have the pain of the buttock, pain here, pain there, pain of due to old age, and so on. And then when we use the word suffering, then it's correct. But when it comes to a deeper aspect, where there's a change, and you see things are keep on changing here and there, and you look at it, how come all my pleasantness all changing? Where has it gone? Dukkha. And so too when it comes into vipassana, also the same thing. A lot of times we see this nature of calmness, pleasantness. If you note them, you see that they're just arising and changing and passing away, and they're gone. And then you feel that really don't feel good at all. That also is a kind of a dukkha. Mm? This is the second level. The third level of dukkha is called the sankhara dukkha. Sankhara here means dukkha due to formations. Formations of the mind and body and the interactions of between this mind and body. That means, in simple words, anything that is being formed, whether the mind or the body is being formed, it's already dukkha. It's already dukkha. It's hard for us to comprehend. And this one, formation, because this formation can never stop until enlightenment process. If there's no enlightenment yet, then this formation will keep going and going and going. And this formation will take you from one rebirth to another rebirth to another rebirth to another rebirth to another, and never ending. The vipassana, when we look into the body and mind, all we see is just arising and passing away. Everything is just arise and pass away, and you can never see it stopped. And you look long enough, it's really unpleasant. It's really dukkha. How do you? It's not like really but it's just dukkha. Because of its arising and passing away, and incessantly it cannot stop. It's hard for us to comprehend. Just give you an example. The moment you have a consciousness in your mother's womb, dukkha starts already. You understand? The moment you have the consciousness, that means the being is going to grow, then the dukkha starts already. Until the beings die, reborn again in whatever the realm of existence, it will keep going. And it will never stop. Because it's being fed by our defilements, our craving, our greed, hatred, delusion, is all keep on feeding it. That's why all these things keep going. Cannot stop. So, in Vipassana, we turn the mind into looking into this mind and body processes. And the mind and body processes is how they are forming, how the formation is taking place right now. So the process is going through. Your job is just to see how the process is changing, arising, passing away, changing and changing and changing. You see its formation. So deeper aspect of what we go through in this vipassana. And the dukkha, when it comes in due to this formation, it's a lot. It's really challenging. That a lot of times, yogi give up on retreat, on meditation, because you can't take it. So painful. They're not painful because of sickness, not because of cancer or anything. but just because of meditation, they can't take it. Their mind is alert, but confidence perhaps not so ready yet to take note of. Although they are quite well developed, but very difficult for some people. Yeah. Now here, what happened is that, for example, I give you some examples. That you notice this arising and passing away, and how this arising and passing away keep on disappearing and disappearing and changing, and then when you notice this process of this mind and body, you become like uh disgusted. You know what is disgusted? Oh, no, sorry. Before it's become disgusted, is that you have a lot of uh, you find that the whole body and mind is something very dangerous, something very like, for example, they says that you used to hang on to all your concept, to all your thinking, to all your design, as if like you can able to hold on to this. Right now, you see everything is in the flux of arising and passing away, and you got nothing to hold on anymore, as if that you're falling apart. So the way that they describe it is like you're kind of like fearful or danger, during that time. So you while you're noticing it, but you feel like, how come it's like this? So they call it the knowledge of fearfulness. The knowledge of fearful. It's not that you are unwholesome, but it's just that the things that you used to attach to is keep on going into destruction. You attach to the things that you attach to. It's not your loved ones or your this and that. It's your own mental and bodily process itself. The very deep type of craving, and you notice that all these things that you attach to now is just only arising and passing away. There's nothing concrete. There's no I. There's no you. There's nothing. It's just processes only. Then the mind becomes shaken up. Dukkha. Then later on, you keep going, you keep noting. Then you begin to note them. Then you find that the more you see this arising and passing away, how they go into destruction, and you feel that it's so miserable. You're kind of fed up with the whole meditation. And yet you know that you still have to go through. You're fed up now with the little pain here and there. You already want to go back already. You think, few more days. But that one, when it comes in a deeper aspect of the dukkha, that one, although your alertness, your mind is there, but you're going through a very miserable time. Just because you're noting. You're seeing all this dukkha again and again. And then after that, it goes even stronger. That you're very disgusted over it now. Like for example, you eat the same thing every day. Only that thing only you eat. Until you become so, the moment you see, you want to vomit. Something like that, And yet there are people exactly, they at this level, they feel that it's like they feel nauseatic. They feel like they are so miserable inside there. I mean, they're going through a very good process of development. My job is just to make sure that they keep going. Because you never see it, how this nature of this dukkha can be so strong. Why do we have to go through all these things? Why is the law, the nature itself, the truth itself, for us to need to see all these things? Why? Why can't we just get enlightenment? Why can't we just realize enlightenment? Why I have to go through all these things? Why? Because here, all the whole process for us to noting to see the truth is because to change our wrong thinking, our wrong concept. our wrong belief, our wrong perception. Take for example, some of us, for example, a lot of us still believe some things are forever. We still believe that things are forever. Sometimes some people, some Buddhists, they read some books and then they think that, oh, my life is always forever, from one life to another life to another life to another life to another life, forever. Or sometimes they thought that they have find their soulmate. We're going to be forever. Or sometimes we believe that sometimes in a certain religion or certain things that we believe that there's some forever place. And you believe that this is forever. Whether it's from Theravada, Mahayana, Vajrayana, or some other religion, or some other worldly views. You believe that there's something forever, and you believe that there must be there. So how are you going to change those type of views? Unless you see that everything inside there, there's no such thing. It's only arising and passing away. All these things is all created by not knowing what is the truth. So to, like, for example, we believe that sometimes everything is nice and pleasant. For example, sometimes you end up in some heaven, let's say, yeah, forever happiness, forever. But we don't realize that it's all also impermanent. It's just longer happiness in here, but it's still impermanent. But we believe that it's forever. And yet sometimes we believe that even our soul, we have a soul, we have a self there, we have an I there, and that I is somewhat forever. So how are we going to change this, all this thinking? Even you read your texts and your suttas and everything, you still have that idea. And over time, sorry to say, even whether you are Theravada or Mahayana or Vajrayana or whichever religion, some of our texts are being corrupted over time. And if you cannot see this thing through, you're going to get caught into all these views. Yeah. Nothing is all safe because 2,500 years it's a long time for everything to be incorporated into it, and we believe every word. You're going to have a problem too, because you have no base, you have no clarity of mind. So here is we have to go back to the source, and the source is within this mind and bodily process. And we begin to see all these dukkha in different aspects of dukkha. You know that in the past, there's always this arising and passing away. Present, this arising and passing away. Future, if there's existence, it will still have this arising and passing away. And this arising and passing away, every time there's formation, change, dukkha is there. Then you see the truth from the source itself, not by your thinking, not by your judging, not by your conceptualizing, not by your intelligence, but seeing it truly as it is. That's where you change how your perception. Yeah. So it's deep, it's powerful. That's why you have to do it. Yeah. So this dukkha, we talk about it. We see it, we have to go through it, and we have to notice it again and again. Because we want to change that wrong perception of ours. The strong, deep, and we don't even realize that we have that wrong perception. So, tomorrow we'll continue on this, beginning from dukkha, and then we see how we can realize nibbana. Hopefully. Okay, so stop here for tonight.